So last week, Omega released the Apollo8 Mark II. Apollo8 the sequel, even. Is that a sensible thing to do for what was quite a nice commemorative watch that celebrated quite a feat of achievement? I'm not sure. I think we should have a discussion about it. I'm Andy and welcome to the English Watch. Now this channel is about me and my watch collecting journey, an amateur enthusiast with an eye for detail, helping like-minded individuals, like you, start your watch collecting journey. Now if you like this video, why not give it a thumbs up and why not subscribe? Now before we get on to it, I am still wearing my Omega Planet Ocean. Yes, it is starting to feel its presence a little bit. It's one of those things, isn't it, where I watched a good video on Fratello the other day about the ideal watch size, and their conclusions are very similar to mine. There is no ideal watch size. It's just whatever you feel like at the time, and size alone is no guarantee of form or function or fit or whatever the words are. I mean, this is a bit of a chunky monkey, and most of the time it's fine, but there's some situations where you are a little bit aware of the height, and you start to think about door handles and all those things. But 90% of the time, I'm actually okay with it. And as a daily, and I've worn this to work, into London, into Birmingham, into all sorts of different situations. It's been fine. I've not really noticed it on the wrist, and it's starting to pick up a little bit of patina on the clasp, which it's quite nice actually, because it's a bit of a demonstration of the fact that I've been enjoying the watch. So yeah, it's doing all right, and I'll report back at the end of the month, as promised, in terms of its accuracy and an overall sort of assessment of how I've got on. Because sometimes people just want one watch, and I do still think this is a pretty damn good watch. Anyway, don't forget also that on Chrono24 there's still an opportunity to buy my 1996 Speedmaster Professional, which, although I'm in no hurry to get rid of, it would unlock some opportunity for me to get into something else. So go and have a look at that. I'll leave a link in the description. So Apollo8 was the first Apollo mission to leave Earth orbit, travel to the moon, orbit the moon, and return. So it was only right that Omega celebrated that, in the 50th anniversary, and they did some good 50th anniversary watches, sort of 2018, 2019, that I think were pretty well placed. And this one, I think, was pretty spot on. They'd used some of the latest technology in ceramic casing, the laser ablation on the front and the back, and I think the black and the yellow contrast was spot on. And if you look back at the review I did of the watch, so one of my friends had bought one of those. I wish I had, to be fair. I'm quite taken by it, and I've tried it on a number of times. Now, it's a watch that, as nice as I think it is, you can tell it's one of those things where not everyone gets it. And I think with special editions, you're either a fan or you're not. Now, some people will gravitate to them because they think they're going to make a quick buck on it. I don't think this was one of those watches. Now, if you had bought one originally at list for about, I think they're about £7,500, you probably haven't made any money on it. You've probably broken even, in fact. Now, every time I go into my local goldsmiths, and certainly some of the other stores that I've been to out and about, there's always an Apollo8 in the window or in the cabinet. And certainly the one local to me, it's the same watch that's been there for ages. So although this one now retails well over £10,000, I think there's a deal to be done. Now the new watch is an extra few £1,000s on top of that. And probably for good reason. I'm not buying or selling in terms of what is or what isn't a good price for something like this. I guess in terms of this video, it's more a why did they do it kind of response. And when we think about how special the occasion was. So you had Frank Borman, the commander of the mission, who sadly passed away late last year. Jim Lovell, Will Anders, Will, who took the Earthrise picture. So seeing our wonderful blue planet just sort of rise over the moon surface, as they came back from the dark side. Incredible mission, and one that really sort of resonated with the public at the time. Because it was so special. So the watch originally, spot on. Now, go back a few years and remember the Rolex GMT Master 2, the blue and the black, the Batman, the re-release, on the Oyster bracelet. It was they've re-released the Batman. Will that affect the values of the original? Well, the answer is not really. And to be honest, not many people care because it's a bread and butter watch. But this one, yes, there are some cool features, and I have to say that the way that they've engraved the moon surface is pretty spectacular. I think it's hats off to Omega for doing that. They've reprofiled the case to the sort of ST105012 model, similar to what they've done with the Professional. So they've started to reprofile it. They've made it a millimetre thinner. And when I've seen side-by-side pictures, it looks visibly thinner, which nobody's going to complain about. But then the original watch wore quite well anyway. And then there's the dog moment, which is, it's not a dog this time, it's a Saturn V rocket, similar to this monstrosity here. So, they've replaced the seconds hand with a little rocket, which, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, God, it was just the cheesiest thing ever. But actually, when you look at it, look at the detail, look at the you've got USA written down on the engines. You've got the sort of castellated black bits, those bits there, and on a micro level, this, you see the pictures and it looks like, oh, so what? But when you then look at it from, I haven't seen one yet, but when you look at it from afar, actually it's micro details, and those micro details, yes, it's made from titanium, laser turned, laser engraved, so they're using the modern precision methods that are available to do these things, and I applaud it 100%. But why do it on this watch? Why make a Mark II?
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they didn't stop to think if they should.
And I've had a look on watch charts, and the values of the original one, they're sort of, say, bobbling along at, I don't know, £6,000-7,000. They may go up a little bit, but I say, given that the watch, you can just go down the road and buy one today and probably get, 15-20% off it. So it's unlikely that there's going to be a rush. But my advice, I think, is to go and buy the Mark I, because the original is always the better version, and it's the 50th anniversary. This one is the 56th-ish anniversary re-edition Mark II with, it's got some nice stuff on it. I think they should have done another special edition. And I know people are going, oh, not more special editions, but there are so many moon missions. They didn't do an Apollo 17, which is the last mission to the moon. They could have done that. They could have used the Saturn V spinny constant second sound. They could have used the better laser ablation, given it a different colourway, done it to a grey ceramic instead of the black, and called it the Apollo 17. Didn't do it. So it's a shame, really, because everything about this new watch is technically and aesthetically perfect, in my view, because I'm a signed up nutcase. But at the expense of the Mark I. So don't do that, Omega. I applaud your technical skills, and I applaud you pushing forward the boundaries of that micro-engineering on a mass-produced watch. But please, for the love of God, look after the heritage of your other things. I mean, if you look at the Snoopy, yes, there's 3 editions. They're all different. You'd argue which one is the most successful. I'd say the Mark II for me personally. But there you go. So that's my opinion. This isn't a review of the watch. I think that'll be hands-on at some point. I imagine they're not going to make masses of these watches, due to the the current one being still hanging around, and as this one's more expensive, I can't imagine you're going to see it in your goldsmiths anytime soon. But head down to the those Omega boutiques, one at the Royal Exchange, the one in Bond Street, and you may find one down there. And I've already seen pictures on the wrist that people have already taken, so those watches are out there, which is just good, I suppose, in a way. Anyway, that's my view. I was still waiting for that new white dial Speedmaster. I was expecting that to launch last week. It didn't. This one did. Big surprise. I've heard February now, so I don't know what's special about February, but other than it's my birthday. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that one. Anyway, bit of a ramble. It's not a rant because, as I said, I applaud everything they've done. It's just the choices this time. Give me some comments. I'll be really interested in your thoughts on it. Not everyone gets the dogs and the NASA and the gimmicky stuff, but I think those watches aren't for you. And that's fine. But yeah, welcome any thoughts. This is a broad church. Anyway, I'm Andy. This has been the English Watch. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.